Christmas doesn't always smell like pine needles and cookies. Sometimes it smells like chlorine, rubbing alcohol, and exhaustion. Maria knew this smell too well. She had been working as an ICU nurse for 5 years, and today, on Christmas Eve, she had just finished a brutal double shift. She stepped out of the hospital not into a snowy fairytale night, but into a freezing downpour. The city looked like a blurred watercolor painting. Store windows blinked with colorful holiday lights, but their glow drowned in the dirty puddles under her feet. Maria was 30, no one was waiting for her at home. No tree, no presents, no hot dinner, only silence and an empty refrigerator. She walked, clutching her bag to her chest like a shield, thinking, I save lives every day, but who will save me from this emptiness? She turned into a dark alley to take a shortcut. The rain drummed against her hood, drowning out the city noise. But a nurse's hearing, trained to catch even the slightest skip of a heart monitor, picked it up. A thin, barely audible sound, not a cry, not a scream, a squeak. Maria stopped. She wanted to keep walking. Her legs were buzzing, her back ached. She just wanted to fall into bed and forget everything. Go home, Maria, she told herself. It's just a rat, or maybe just the wind. But she couldn't take another step. It was her professional habit. She could not walk past pain. She approached the wall of a brick building. There, sitting in a puddle, was a soaked cardboard shoebox. Maria crouched down, ignoring the icy water soaking into her boots. Slowly, she lifted the wet cardboard flap. Inside lay a kitten. He was so small he would have fit in the palm of her hand. Black as coal, soaked to the bone, shivering so violently that the box vibrated. His eyes were closed, glued shut with infection. He wasn't even squeaking anymore. He was just opening his mouth in a silent plea. Maria's heart skipped a beat. This wasn't just an animal. This was a life that was fading away, right here on Christmas while the whole world sang songs about miracles. Maria didn't think for a second. She unzipped her jacket, took off her warm wool scarf, wrapped the freezing lump in it, and pressed it against her chest under her sweater, right against her heart. Hang in there, she whispered into the darkness. My shift isn't over yet. She didn't remember the walk home. She ran. Bursting into her apartment, she didn't take off her coat. She walked straight into the kitchen in her muddy boots. She turned on the light. It seemed blindingly bright after the darkness of the street. The work began. There were no doctors, no expensive equipment, only her. Maria filled a bottle with hot water. She pulled out her softest towel. She rubbed the kitten gently, centimeter by centimeter, just as she rubbed premature Bobbies in the ward. He was cold as ice. Come on, little one, come on, she whispered, her hands trembling with tension but her movements precise and steady. She heated up a little milk and found an old eyedropper. First drop, the kitten didn't react. Second drop, silence. Maria felt despair rising in her throat. Was she too late? Was death going to win tonight after all? She leaned over him, warming him with her own breath. You are not dying today, she said firmly. Not on my watch. An hour passed. Maria sat on the kitchen floor, her back resting against the radiator. The kitten lay on her chest, wrapped in a wool sock. Outside, the rain continued to pour, tapping against the glass. Maria closed her eyes. Fatigue crashed down on her like a concrete slab. And suddenly she felt it. A light, almost weightless movement. She opened her eyes. The kitten twitched an ear, then a tiny pink tongue poked out and licked the wool of the sock. And then came the sound. Purr. It wasn't a loud purr, it was a quiet, vibrating sound like a tiny engine starting up. The kitten took a deep breath, stretched, and curled into an even tighter ball. He was warm. Maria looked at this black bundle and started to cry. Tears rolled down her cheeks, hot and salty. She wasn't crying from grief, she was crying from relief. All these years, she thought she needed someone big and strong to protect her from loneliness. She was waiting for someone to come and warm her. But now, sitting on the floor in an old sweater with messy hair, she understood the main secret of Christmas. Warmth doesn't come from the outside. Warmth is born only when you give it to another. By saving this tiny life, she had saved herself. The shoebox was empty, but her heart was filled to the brim. Maria stood up. She placed the sleeping kitten in a laundry basket, arranging a royal bed of towels for him. She walked to the window. The rain had stopped, the clouds parted, and in the dark blue sky, a single bright star lit up. Maria smiled. She poured herself some tea, took a tin of cookies from the cupboard, and sat down next to the basket. The apartment was quiet, but it was no longer the silence of emptiness. It was the silence of life. "Merry Christmas to us," she whispered to the sleeping kitten. "Merry Christmas, little Cole." She knew that tomorrow would be another hard shift. There would be pain and fatigue again. But tonight, a light was burning in her home that could not be extinguished. If you found this helpful, like and subscribe to the channel. Merry Christmas.